Pencil, agenda, binder, assigned seats, everybody fill in your homework. I hope everybody's staying safe and staying healthy. Make sure that you're always washing your hands after everything you do. I'm particularly fond of lava. This is the best stuff out there. It's actually got lava in it. So, let's see. We've been learning about the theory of evolution, and today we're going to focus on one of the biggest parts of evolution, which is adaptations. Which is our essential question, by the way. What are adaptations? And your homework this week is to email me your responses or email me a photo of your responses when you've completed all 5 of your responses. So let's start here. Is there anybody that knows what are adaptations? Oh, Helen!
Adaptations are traits that help an organism survive.
That's exactly right. And so, let's see, yesterday, if you're doing all this in order, you read about Darwin's finches. And Darwin's finches were one of the reasons he figured out his whole theory of evolution. Because he noticed that on the islands, there were different finches, and they all had different shaped beaks. And it was basically determined by what type of food they ate. So some of the beaks were good for crushing seeds, and some of the beaks were good at cutting through the flesh of fruits and flowers, and some of the beaks were good for plucking the buds off of a plant, and some of the beaks were really good at grabbing insects. And so all these different beak shapes were adaptations that helped those finches to survive. And it's been since figured out through genetics that Darwin was right. All of those finches were related to a common ancestor finch back on the mainland of South America. The adaptation I want you to try at home this week is camouflage. So we're going to take a little trip through the classroom here, and we're going to try to explain the adaptation of camouflage. So I've got some yellow creatures, and I've got some green creatures, and when they're in their environment, the yellow creatures are perfectly camouflaged. But let's suppose along comes a bulldozer, deforestation and habitat loss, like it's going up there at Manatee Road, which is setting up for a whole bunch of new homes. Well, those animals, they get bumped into another environment, and maybe they're not perfectly adapted for where they're traveling to. Like, what if these creatures have to go hang out in this environment? Well, now it's going to be real obvious to a predator, which one is going to be eaten. Because, of course, it's the lemons in this environment that are going to become vulnerable. Same kind of thing going on here. Apples are perfectly adapted to this type of environment, and oranges, but along comes bulldozers. Humans, they want to put up a new school or a new hospital or a new subdivision, a new freeway, and those animals get misplaced. And now there's more competition. Well, of course, the oranges in this environment are going to have an advantage because of their camouflage, and the apples will end up being the ones preyed upon. Over here, same thing. So all throughout this adaptation thing, you should go to the store and you should load up on apples and oranges and lemons and limes and jelly beans and mess around with which ones would be more able to be eaten. Like if you're a hawk flying above and you see these animals down below, well, obviously the green ones are going to be easy to spot and they'll get gobbled up. Same thing here with the little goldfishies. If these are swimming around in their normal environment that they're perfectly adapted to, they're good to go. But along comes some limiting factor and causes them to have to be misplaced into some other environment. Well, now they're going to become vulnerable. Same thing. Oh, we've got our Easter version of all this. These little buddies are just so happy to be hopping around in their environment. But there's a hawk flying above. But, oh, along comes deforestation, and these little bunnies have to come on over here, and they have to live with the blue bunnies. Well, now they're going to be easy to spot and a little bit eaten. So, you guys have a great day, and all the hard work you're doing, I appreciate it. I miss you. I'm looking forward to our return and our reunion. Have a great day.